Hello and welcome to Warcraft Daily for today, the 10th of July 2013. So in today's news we have some pretty cool stuff. There's a new build of the PTR. So we have new items for the Timeless Isles, a possible update to Winter Veil, possible Season 15 stuff, which is interesting because Season 14 hasn't even came out yet. New items, models, and just some miscellaneous things I thought I'd throw in at the end. So the first thing, and probably what most people care about, is the Timeless Isles. Now, we are still not able to get in there. I've tried it in the PTR, but we do have a whole bunch of new items that have been added. So the first one's called the Mountain Climbing Rope. This provides quick access to the Ordon Sanctuary. Now, the Ordon Sanctuary, I'm pretty sure is where Ordos, the fire god, is. And there's a few other things which reference that location as well. So, yeah, pretty cool. Now, the next thing is called the Path of Sauhau. This permanently increases your mounted movement speed by 25% while you're on the Isle. I think that's nice. That was, good quality of life stuff. Next thing is the Ring of White Ash. This reduces fire damage taken by 50% while on the Timeless Isles and provides immunity to the atmosphere of the Ordon Sanctuary. So I'm going to think that if you want to get to Ordos and kill the boss, what you're going to need is this Ring of White Ash. So he's actually shaping up to be a very interesting boss. Now the next thing is called Sheltering Mists. This reduces the ability for monsters to detect you while you're on the Timeless Isle. Essentially it just seems a bit like a repel in Pokemon. This thing's annoying you perhaps. Our next thing is called the Coalesce Mists. This transports the user to the Timeless Isle. And we also have the Tabard of the Sauhan. This also teleports you to the Timeless Isle. I'm just going to assume that these are on different cooldowns or different levels of reward or something like that. And the next thing is called Legacy of the Emperor. For this, killing creatures on the Timeless Isles grants an additional 3 Timeless Coins. So, yeah, that's cool. I have no idea sort of the amount of scale of Timeless Coins, how much we'll need for things, but I do know that the Rathian quest requires 50 of them. So, maybe they're not that hard to get, but maybe they are. We don't really know yet. Now the next thing is the Singing Crystal. When you use this, your damage dealing abilities may invoke Wisdom of the Ages, which increases a useful stat by 8,000. That's a big number, and it only works on the Timeless Isles. So it seems like they're putting in quite a few little quality of life things to speed our way through the Timeless Isles, and I think that's pretty cool. The next thing is the Tattered Adventurer's Journal. This is the final thing. It's described as an old journal describing various creatures and treasures on the Timeless Isle. Now what I think this could be is sort of like, not a guide, but, some sort of like in-game primer to the island. Something like that. Anyway, all this stuff, pretty cool. Timeless Isles shaping up to be a really cool area, and hopefully they'll be using the lessons they've learned from Battlefield Barons to good effect. So the next thing is a possible Winter Veil update. Now this is going to be pretty awesome, I think. So in the PTR they found a whole bunch of new items which reference the Winter Veil. There's the Great Father's Box of Greetings, Great Father's Path of Cenarius, Great Father's Satchel, and the Great Father's Box of Greatness. So yeah, these are new things. In one of them it was like the Great Father's Riding Turtle. So you know what, if we can get a bloody Santa Turtle, that'd be pretty cool, right? So yeah, it just seems like they're setting up for an updated Winter Veil, which, what's interesting to me is that these things are coming in patch 5.4 and not 5.5. Now 5.5, I think, Blizzard said they don't know if it'll happen or not, and of course it won't be a major raid tier, but it could be some additional sort of stopgap content to get us into the next expansion. So this could perhaps be hinting that 5.5 is after Winter Veil if they're adding things here, but that said, I don't really know their file structure and development cycle, so there's really only so much you can look into it. Now another cool thing is that there's possible Season 15 stuff. There was new Season 15 items and achievements that were added, including one for winning 100 rated battlegrounds and 43 v3 arenas. I actually think that was the other way around. So yeah, possible Season 15. I don't know if they're adding this to be ready for the next expansion, or perhaps 5.5 is going to be a thing, and it is going to have Season 15 in it. We just don't know. Now there's been a whole bunch of new items and models added, and these are, in addition to the things I talked about earlier. So there's a number of pug disguises, which I think is pretty cool, so yeah, you can look like a pug. And there's a new pet called Little Bling. Dog, something. Yeah, some little bling pet. I think that's pretty cool. Probably, well, I hope he has something to do with the Blingatron, so that'd be fun. We also have a new crafting item called the Spirit of War. This is probably going to be the same as the Haunting Spirit in 5.2, and in terms of models we have a Hearthstone table, which perhaps is that a hint we're getting Hearthstone and WoW or something. I mean, they did say they'd be separate experiences, So that's sort of weird. And then also one of a corgi. No idea what the corgi will be used for. Now for the miscellaneous stuff, it's just really this is not miscellaneous, it's the noodle cart section of the show where I talk about the new noodle carts that are being added. So we have new details, there's a whole bunch of quests, and at the end you seem to get an item. Now this is a noodle cart that you make, and it says that it sells 25 bowls of noodles. These restore 300k health and mana, and the usual food stuff. Now I think what's cool, and could actually be really cool, is that the text says that the cart sells the noodles, so perhaps the players get money for it. I think that would be awesome, setting up like a little noodle cart somewhere where people would be needing, I don't know, buff noodles. Make them like 1 gold each for a thing of noodles, and then I just think that would be fun. So yeah, now the next thing is just some little minor class changes. There's been a whole bunch of things, but it seems like the interesting stuff is that for Hunters, Counter Shot is now baseline, and Shamans are getting a new talent called Rushing Streams. What this does is it causes your Healing Tide totems to heal 2 additional targets for 15% more healing. Now that's actually it for the show, and it's really as far as this new build is taking us with sort of new additions to the game. Now there was the Shaman tier 15 which was added. I have a preview video of that up, and there was also some audio. Now this involves like an epilogue from Rathian and a whole bunch of stuff like that, and honestly I don't want to cover that in the show because some people do care about the lore and it would be a spoiler, so go check your favourite WoW news site if you want to see that. Otherwise, thanks for watching, please like if you like and subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll see you next time.